What do you do with the traps in life? Because I'm telling you, there's always something kind of lurking out there trying to trip you up, things to try to get you to go this way when you know you should have gone that way. Well, stay with me for the next few moments because we're going to investigate some of the traps of life that we can avoid so that nothing stops us from hitting our goals and our targets. This is Fresh Air for Life. Let's go get it. Hey friends, here we go. This is Fresh Air for Life. I'm Anthony D. Crawford. Glad that you're with me. Let's begin to talk about some things, specifically about how to avoid the traps in life. I was watching a tennis match the other day and a commercial came on advertising a program. It was hilarious to me because there was one particular kid, he had, some particular items, and some other kids came along and kind of grabbed them from him, and they're running and he's chasing them, and then as they get to the corner, you see another kid standing behind with almost like a little paddle waiting to hit the kid as soon as he comes. I mean, obviously it's a bit violent, but it just reminded me about how the traps can be set in your life and mine, trying to knock us out from being able to accomplish what God put us on this earth to accomplish. Now, there's three particular traps that I want to, stress on today for you and I to make sure that we avoid. Number one is this trap of anger. Man, you see it happen all the time. You see it happen on the highway, the roadway, people having road rage. I mean, I've heard of people, following people home, confronting them, all because they felt like they cut them off, on the road. Well, wait a minute. You're falling into a trap. That can really get you hurt. That can get you in prison. All types of things, happen there. How do we avoid, things like that? Well, number one, let's look at this. Pause for a minute before you respond. When those emotions start to get up, come on now, and your blood pressure has just shot up, give yourself some time to settle back down. Now, depending upon who you are, that may happen in 5 minutes or that may take you 5 hours. You got to know yourself. Give yourself time to settle down first before you act. Then secondly, it is good to then confront the situation. Now, confronting it doesn't mean you got to be confrontational and to start, some type of, chaotic moment. But you do want to let the person know that may have offended you or may have hurt you, how things did affect you. You want to share that with them. You want to be able to release it off of yourself. But you want to do it in a way that's not going to cause chaos, that's not going to cause an argument or strife. Then I would also say this when it comes to anger. You want to make sure, if you're going to avoid this, that you release the person. You forgive them. Everyone has an interesting day. Let's call it a bad day. Sometimes you're just not on your best behavior, in your best mood, and you didn't say things exactly the way that you wanted to say it. I get that. We've all been there. I've been there. So grace people to recognize, maybe they're just kind of having a day. Maybe that's why, while they were driving down the road and they felt like you cut them off, they threw you that finger. You know the finger I'm talking about. Don't take that personal. Forgive them. Release it. Let it go. If you do so, it will help you to avoid the trap of anger. Let me give you another one though. Money. Man, money can be such a major trap, in our lives and get us hemmed up, on so many different things. And you have to watch it. There's so much out here that is dangling bait, trying to get us to spend money, quite frankly, we don't even have. They want us to borrow money to get this, to get the bigger, to get the nicer. Well, you got to use wisdom there. Here's a few tips for you to avoid, the money trap. Number one, you got to have the right relationship with money. Money does not make you happy. Money is just a magnifier. It's going to reveal and expose even greater how you really feel about yourself and life. If you feel good about yourself, you get more money, it'll just show bigger. If you don't, it's going to show that way too. So have the proper relationship with money. Secondly, I would say this, you need to live on some type of financial plan. If you don't tell money where to go, it winds up just going anywhere. So you need to make sure you have a good solid plan. And then thirdly, give stuff away regularly. And myself, I'm a tither. I like to give offerings. I like to bless people. I like to do those type of things. One of the benefits of that is there's nothing that I have in my life that has a hold on me. So there's no possession, there's no car, there's no house, there's nothing that is just like, oh no, I have to have this. No, I wear all of that stuff loosely. And one of the ways it helps me to do that is I just constantly give things away. So be sure to do that. It will help you to avoid the money trap. And here's one more. This is a big one. It's called the sex trap. Now, you may have fallen into it. I get that. There's no condemnation here. but you want to make sure that you're doing the things to avoid premature sex. God designed sex to be something that happened between a husband and a wife, between this one biologically born man and one biologically born woman. That's how God designed it, so that it would be a consummation, of their covenant union. And now there's all types of things out here trying to trip us up, trying to trap us over into sex. I mean, pornography, advertisement. It's always things out there trying to draw us in. Everything, is almost kind of laced with sex. So if you don't watch it, it just kind of pulls you into an instance of premature sex that obviously you shouldn't be having because it's outside of a marriage covenant. So here's a few things for you to do to help with that. One, got to have some boundaries. Got to have some boundaries, so you cannot just allow people to have such kind of physical access to you and doing certain things to you that triggers your hormones. You cannot do it. You want to make sure you have some boundaries and you keep some boundaries with the opposite sex. And then I would also say this, that you want to make sure that you're not putting yourself in environments where it's going to start to stimulate you. I mean, where you're going to, places where it's just a kind of hypersensitive area, hypersexuality and so forth. You don't want to put yourself in those kind of environments. You have to really watch, kind of what you're watching and where you're hanging out, because those things can pull you right in. And before you know it, you're acting on something that you said, no, I wasn't going to do. And then thirdly, I would say this for you, really keep a close eye on just how you let your mind drift. Sometimes, you can see different things or see different people and your mind can start to drift. Be careful of that. Don't let yourself, go there, because if you don't, not careful, let me say it that way, you can slip up and all of a sudden start thinking about some of these shows that we have, Pleasure Island and all kind of different things, and the different, so-called romantic episodes that happen there, and envisioning yourself, happening in something like that. No, don't let your mind drift there. And one of the ways they help your mind not drifting is watching what you watch. Watching what you watch, watching what you listen to, because those things feed you in a certain way. So again, avoid the traps of life. There's several of them, but those are three that if you do that, I'm telling you, you will maintain a healthy environment, and you'll be able to go forward to accomplish everything that God's called you to. Be blessed and have a great day. And remember, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, comment, share, the videos, follow me on social media, and let's keep growing together.